Dear students, my name is Govind Manglani and I have studied in BITS Pilani campus. I have trained more than 5,000 students online and offline. I have been associated with top institutes in India. I am teaching online for CGP Career Avenues now. I will be teaching you from the very basics. Even an average student should understand the concept thoroughly. Our coaching should help the students in clearing all entrance exams like IIT JEE Mains, JEE Advanced, NEET, and state entrance exams. We will solve as many questions as possible and give you assignments and worksheets to work out. If you are looking for NEET or IIT JEE study concept to get it cleared, or you have any doubt, you can easily mail to us. Now, let's start with the first topic, that is some basic concepts of chemistry. Some basic concepts of chemistry. Now, this is the first chapter of 11th standard. Some basic concepts of chemistry is in 11th standard NCERT. Now, first thing, we know that you have studied matter in detail. Now, what is matter? You know that matter is something which has some mass, it has some mass and it will occupy some space. It will occupy some space. The one which occupies some space and possess some mass is called a matter. Example of matter can be anything like pen, book, you can say water, etc. All these have some mass and it occupies some space. This is classified as matter. Now, matter is further classified, or matter will exist in three phases. Matter exists in three phases. What is a phase? Phase is something in which matter will exist. So, the phases in which matter exists is, first phase is solid, second is liquid, and third is gas. So solid, liquid and gas are phase. Solid, liquid and gas are phase in which matter will exist. Now, solid. In solid, the atoms are placed close to each other. The atoms which are there are placed close to each other. As they are close to each other, they are very much attracted towards each other. Now, if there are atoms, they are close to each other, there will be too much attraction. And in solid, they are arranged in ordered fashion. They are arranged in ordered fashion. So they are arranged in ordered fashion. Now, as they are arranged in ordered fashion, now as the atoms are arranged in ordered fashion, there is no movement of atom taking place. Now, solid have definite shape. Solid will have a definite shape and will have a definite volume. They will have a definite volume. So you might have seen some diagrams in which atoms are closely held to each other in solids. So they will be held closely to each other and it will be a 3D packed structure. Okay, now let's move on to liquid phase. So liquid, in liquid, particles or atoms, so I will say particles or atoms are close to each other. They are close to each other, but still the particles can move. So you should know that there is a term which is called as fluid. Fluid is something which can flow. So there are two states or two phases which can flow, that is liquid and gas. That's why liquid and gas are considered as fluids, because they can move. Now the particles can move. So liquids will have a definite volume. Liquid has definite volume. Now tell me, will liquid have a definite shape? No, liquid doesn't have a definite shape. So liquid doesn't have a definite shape. doesn't have a definite shape. Why liquid doesn't have a definite shape? Because if you place a liquid in a container, say you have a glass, you put water, it will take shape of the water. So it will take the shape of the container in which liquid has been placed. Now, looking at this particular thing, let's come on to gaseous phase. So in gaseous phase, or we can say gas, the particles are far from each other. The particles or the atoms are far from each other. They are very far from each other compared to solid and gas, compared to solid and liquid, compared to solid and liquid. So the particles will be very far from each other compared to solid and liquid state. So gases doesn't have definite shape. So definite shape is not there in gas, neither they have definite volume. Definite shape and definite volume is not present in gaseous state. Okay, now you take a container. In this container you place a gas. In this container you place a gas, you close the lid, the gas will occupy the whole container. The gas will occupy the whole container. You know that it will occupy the whole container volume. So gas doesn't have its own volume, it will occupy the container volume. So gas occupies container volume, or you can say container volume and shape. So it's very important understand, because this particular concept will come in gaseous state too. There is a chapter in 11th standard gaseous state, same concept will come there also. Now let's come on to the, now in general solid on heating, so this triangle shows heating, solid on heating gets converted to liquid, and liquids on heating gets converted to gas. I know you will say, so solid can be converted to gas, that's called sublimation. I'm saying in general. So in general solids are converted to liquid and liquid are converted to gas by heating. Now gas, if it is cooled, so gas on cooling will give liquid and liquid on cooling will get solid. So we can convert these phase by changing the temperature. Let's take an example. Say we have H2O solid. What is water solid? It is nothing but ice. Ice when heated gets converted to H2O liquid, that is water. Ice on heating gives water, and water or further heating gives H2O gas. This is called as steam. Now if I heat the steam further, it won't undergo any further phase change. So H2O gas on cooling will give you H2O liquid, and liquid on cooling will give you ice. You know that you perform this operation in your refrigerator. So this is how on changing the temperature you can change the phase. You can change from solid to liquid and liquid to gas, and vice versa, from gas to liquid and liquid to solid, like this. Now matter at macroscopic or a bulk level, it is classified into following. So bulk level classification of matter. So matter is classified into two types. First is mixture and another one is pure substance. Mixture and pure substance. Now what is mixture, what is pure substance? Mixture is a combination of two or more substances. Two or more substances will be combining in a mixture, two or more substances in any ratio. So the ratio is not fixed. So you can say mixture doesn't have a proper composition. Mixture doesn't have a proper composition, whereas pure substance is present in a fixed ratio. It is present in fixed ratio. Fixed ratio. Important. It is present in a fixed ratio. So pure substance will always have a fixed ratio of elements. Now mixture is further classified into two types. First one is homogeneous. So homogeneous mixture. And second one is heterogeneous. Now, homogeneous mixture are completely mixed. These are what? These are completely mixed. Completely mixed. And these will have completely mixed, and these will have what? A uniform composition. This will have what? Uniform composition. So composition will be uniform throughout. Example of this particular type will be air. You know that air is a mixture of nitrogen and oxygen. So it is uniform composition. That's why it's a homogeneous mixture. Another example can be sugar solution. Sugar solution. Next one is heterogeneous mixture. The composition here, composition is not uniform. The composition is not uniform throughout. The composition is not uniform throughout. You can take an example here as mixture of salt and dirt. You can easily look at the mixture and you can say, yeah, this is salt and this is dirt. This shows that the mixture is heterogeneous. This will show that this mixture is what? Heterogeneous. So pure substances are classified into elements and compounds. Elements and compounds. Now, elements. Elements are containing only one type of atom. It has what? Only one type of atoms. Only one type of atom. Example, only one type of atom. So copper, silver have only one type of atom. You can consider gold. Many are there. H2, hydrogen. It is a molecule, but it has only one type of atom, like HH. Another example will be N2. It has also one type of atom. Compounds may consist two or more types of atoms. Two or more atoms. But two or more atoms are in fixed ratio. Example, H2O. H2O will always have two hydrogen and one oxygen. So two elements in a fixed composition, or CO2. Hope it's clear. If you have any query, you can surely mail it to me. I will clear it out. Now let's discuss properties of matter. Properties of matter. Now, what is properties of matter? So these are classified into two types. The first type is called physical property. Physical property. Now what is physical property? Physical properties are those which can be observed. So physical properties are those which can be observed, and these can be observed without any change. Physical properties are those which can be observed without changing composition, changing without changing composition. So these are those which are observed without changing composition. Example is very important because these are the properties which we will deal regularly. Physical properties are like, example, very important, color. So color of the element will be observed. Color is not depending on composition here. Color, or you can say odor. Odor will be smell, the smell which is coming. That's a physical property. Or you can say melting point. That is also a physical property. Boiling point, physical property. Very important, melting point, boiling point. Then you can come on to vapor pressure. We will deal these things in detail. Vapor pressure. Now if you are not getting what is vapor pressure, we'll come on to the details of vapor pressure in next few chapters. Now this is what? Physical properties. So all these properties are what? Observed properties. So physical properties are those which are observed. Color, odor, melting point, boiling point. These are the properties which are observed. Now let's come on to the next set of properties which are called as chemical properties. So chemical properties. Now, chemical properties are those which will require a chemical change. This will require a chemical change to occur. It will require a chemical change to occur. Now, if there is a chemical change occurring, then this property can be observed. That means the chemical properties will involve some chemical reaction. It will involve some chemical reaction. Now, example of chemical property can be something like acidic strength, or you can say basic reaction, acidic basic, or you can say hydrogenation reaction. Sometimes you can say neutralization is a chemical property. After neutralization you can say combustion. All these chemical reaction are nothing but the chemical properties which are occurring in matter. Now let's revise that what we studied today. We studied about matter, that it is something which occupies space and possesses some mass. We saw a few examples. Matter was further existing in three phases, that was solid, liquid and gas. Solid, liquid and gas, it was existing. So solid was having what? Definite shape and definite volume. Liquid was having what? Definite volume. Liquid was having definite volume but not definite shape. The liquid was having definite volume but definite shape was not present because it was occupying shape of the container. And the gas neither have definite shape nor definite volume. Neither definite shape nor definite volume. We studied till here, and after now solids are converted to liquid, liquid are converted to gas. So this reaction is possible when we are heating it, and the reverse is possible when we are cooling it. And the reverse is possible when we are cooling it. And after this we classified matter into mixture and pure substance. And further mixture were classified into homogeneous and heterogeneous. And after homogeneous and heterogeneous, pure substance were further classified into elements and compounds. After this we saw the types of properties. There were two types of property. First was physical property. Physical properties are those which are observed properties. So these observed properties include something like color, odor, boiling point, melting point, etc. And chemical properties were those which involve a chemical change. So chemical properties are those which involve a chemical change. So something like we can say neutralization and combustion, combustion and acidic and basic, etc. So these were the topics which were covered. Let's move on to the next video. Thank you.